Okay. All right. Am I doing a we're back? Or is it your turn?
I don't remember.
I mean...
I think I did the we're back last time.
Okay.
Because I think you did it for Friday.
I'll do the we're back then. All right.
Watch us be wrong.
We're back.
And welcome back to A Dose of Candor with Jay and Lee. And I don't know what this topic would be to describe headed as.
Yeah, we're doing a spin. So we're flipping the script. So parents always share like crazy or funny things that their kids say. Like, oh, kids say the darndest things. Well, this is going to be kind of like...
opposite.
Yeah, like adults or parents say the darndest thing. So it's like, what's something recently that like your mom has like said to you?
Should I share it?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. So my brother, first of all, my brother sometimes he just asks like the most randomest questions.
Yeah, okay.
He definitely does. And so his random question is, because obviously we all know my dad's deadbeat a little. It's no secret.
She's like, just putting that out there. Just putting it out there. In case you did not already know.
Yes, my dad's a deadbeat. So he was like, Jay, who's going to walk you down the aisle when you get married? And I was like, I don't know. That's a good question. And my mom was quick to answer.
Oh.
And she goes, well, it would be me, of course. And I'm like, yeah, I guess. And I was like, because also there's my grandpa who's been like a dad to me.
I was going to say, I would think that your grandpa would probably really enjoy doing that.
Yeah. I mean, I was in his wedding.
Yeah.
Which I did like. I mean, I don't see why they both couldn't.
Right.
If it's like a big thing. And she's like, well, I'm your mom, so it would be me. It's like, okay.
Oh, but it would be your wedding day. So
yeah.
You would be in charge of deciding all that stuff.
Yeah. What if I don't want a wedding?
And that's the thing. Like, okay, guys, like weddings, okay, that is for the couple. That is not for the in-laws. It's not for the other family. The couple, that is their special day.
Yeah.
And I will say this, when it comes to like my ex-husband, when we were planning our wedding, obviously I paid for the ceremony. So it's like the wife's family's supposed to pay for stuff.
Yeah.
But his family, as our wedding present, said that they would take care of the reception because they wanted to have two receptions because we had a destination wedding. So, we had a reception down here in Florida. And then we also had a second reception at a country club back up in Indiana for everybody who couldn't come down because we had a small ceremony. We only had 30 people travel down to Florida for the destination wedding because we wanted a smaller ceremony and wedding. But his parents, and mainly his mother, felt that since his
dad wasn't really he was like, okay.
Yeah, his dad didn't really care. He's just the wallet.
Yeah.
But no, his mother was pretty much well, we're paying for the reception, so we should be the ones deciding how everything's decorated and what food is being served and this and that. And it's no, you're saying it's our wedding gift, so we should still be the ones enjoying making these decisions.
Yeah, and it's your wedding. You should decide how you want it to look.
Right. And I know back then when I shared my concerns with my, fiance at the time,
Schmeagle,
he pretty much kind of guilt tripped and gaslit me and kind of demeaned me the whole time and was like, well, I don't see what the big deal is. The most important thing is that we're getting married, and why can't you just be happy with the fact that we're going to be married? Why does this bother you? And it's well, because I want you to say something, because this is supposed to be our day, and it's boundaries. You need healthy boundaries. So yeah, that should have been the first. I had a major anxiety attack right before our ceremony too. And I was just that was the universe giving me a sign. That was my body telling me.
Ladies or guys, because women could be like that too. This goes for ladies or guys.
Yeah.
If they say that, why should it matter as long as we're getting married because their parents are taking over? Run.
Right. That was like one of the major red flags. And now like a lot of wedding planners like share red flags that they see and how they can tell that people are going to divorce in certain time frames and stuff.
Yeah.
And that's one of the big red flags that's usually in a lot of wedding planner things that come out, like stories that come out, and it's like, oh, I was there, I experienced
or
that.
Or for you toxic mother-in-laws, leave them alone.
Right, like healthy boundaries, people, healthy boundaries.
But I feel like a lot of the times, this is no hate, even though you're a boy mom, it's those like over-obsessed boy moms who are like, because obviously you love your sons and everything, but like
for sure
in love with their son, like that's like,
you know, oh yes, I get it. I know like, there are some crazy moms out there. Like I feel like you're down to earth. I'm very like go with the flow.
Yeah,
like,
but you're very good with
now
the flow.
Now hurt my kids.
I was gonna say
that's another story.
I was gonna say if someone were to like sit there and like even physically or emotionally hurt your kids, that's when it's like mama bear right there. I'm
very protective when it comes to like any like actual abuse.
It's more of it takes a lot for you to get to that point.
Yeah, no, like it's very like no, but and it's like I would respect like it's like my parents like throughout the divorce and all that, they never inserted themselves into anything. Yeah. Now his family different. They inserted themselves. They actually physically assaulted me at a meeting before when I went to meet him at the park to spend time with the kids, to let him spend time with the kids. That's when he had very limited time sharing. But yeah, like had to call the police and everything. Now my parents never put themselves in that. Like they would listen and they would give advice if asked. But like my family's like, you know, that's you and him should be making these decisions and you and him need to be talking this out. No one else should be getting involved. And it's like, precisely.
Like a very healthy boundary.
Yes, healthy boundaries. But anyway, let's get back to crazy wedding stuff since you opened that can of worms because things can be really crazy. So guys, we have kind of some crazy things that were shared online that we wanted to talk about because we were reading some of these things and it's like, whoa. Do you want to do the first one?
Okay, this one, when we read it, this is pretty crazy. It says, the day of my wedding, my groom's female best friend said, you know, his parents prefer me. They want me to marry him, but I turned him down. Could you imagine that?
I was just getting ready to say that. Could you imagine having someone say that to you? And like, I don't know, like, what would you say to someone? Would you like put them in their place or just not bother and just be the bigger person?
Okay,
and be like,
I feel
obviously
like
he chose me. Like,
I don't know. I feel like we would have different results. I feel like I would low-key crash out. Well,
no.
not like, I would be like, well, that must really suck for you because he doesn't like you. That's why he's with me. His parents didn't have a say in that.
I don't know if I would even respond to it.
Yeah, that's why I said we have different answers.
But I'm not,
I know that.
I don't like conflict. Again, I'm like so go with the flow that it's like, I would probably just kind of roll my eyes or something and just move on with my day.
I don't start conflict, but I can finish the conflict.
Yes, now that's something my family always has said. They're like, don't start the issue, but if you need to finish it, do you.
That's what I was always told too. Well, yeah, because some people just start things for no reason.
Yeah.
It's unnecessary. A lot of the times they're just bored.
Oh, now this next one will take the cake. Kind of. So this says, after arriving 45 minutes after the ceremony was to begin, during the ring exchange, the groom gets this blank look and says that he did not know he was supposed to buy her another ring. So the sister-in-law ended up slipping her wedding band off and handing it over just for like the ceremony. Could you imagine not having an actual wedding band at your wedding?
If his parents or anybody who like he's friends with did not tell him that, or I feel like it's common knowledge.
You know, but my question is, how did they not realize that before the actual ceremony? Because you usually have like a rehearsal. And like, because I know in our rehearsal, like we actually did get the wedding bands out and everything and rehearse it because it was on the beach. So we were going to go ahead and try to have, like, because his little nephew was our ring bearer. And
that's so cute.
It was cute. And but the wedding planner had said, you don't really want to put the real rings on the pillow, though, that he's gonna carry,
just in case if he drops it.
Well, plus he was young, so he liked to untie everything because they were tied on there, with the lacy bow. So she was like, I would hate for him to untie it or this or that, and then they fall in the sand and we not find them. So it's how would they not have noticed that before the ceremony if they did a proper rehearsal and everything?
You would think, yeah.
But I don't know. I guess you never really know. What's the next one? Oh, yeah. Oh, my gosh. I can't even imagine this.
Okay. I don't think I've read this one yet. It said, after everyone ordered dinner for the few entree choices, the mother of the bride went table to table, collecting $30 from each person to cover the cost of their food. We were not warned that this would happen.
That is crazy to me because, yes, you always want to let people know.
Yeah, because maybe some people can't afford to go out
afford that. Yeah, because I know I've read things about other weddings where if people couldn't afford the price of the meal, after the ceremony, they would go to a fast food restaurant and just get a value meal or something before going to the reception. That way they didn't, feel embarrassed or something at the actual reception where they would be eating. But I couldn't even imagine not having that warning and thinking everything's paid for and then being asked for money after you've gotten your food.
Right. That's crazy.
Oh.
And the fact that it's the mother doing it,
right.
And not the bride or the groom,
right.
being oh yeah, by the way, if we're going out.
Did they know she was doing that?
I wonder. Maybe it was the mom covering the bill and she didn't want to have to pay for it all.
Oh, true. Oh my goodness. But that would be so embarrassing.
Yeah. Could you imagine your mom being yeah, I'm going to cover the bill, and then she walks around to all your friends being okay.
I'd be oh my God.
I would feel so embarrassed.
Okay, so the next one. So the bride's mom wore what was basically a wedding dress and insisted on walking her daughter up the aisle with her ex-husband. After the wedding, we found out that the photographer had become enamored with the maid of honor, and at least 50% of the pictures he took were of her. There were 0 portraits of just the bride and groom. I can't. So, okay, first problem. The mom is wanting to take over the highlight and be the star of the wedding, of her own daughter's wedding.
Can I say something? This is what I've always hated. Is besides the people who do the bride wears a color dress and everyone else wears white. But when a bride specifically says do not wear white and someone shows up in white, I'm sorry, that's just rude.
No, it is an unwritten rule that you do not wear white at a wedding. You don't do it.
Well, some people
unless
the bride.
It's planned that way.
Yeah,
yes.
Unless it's planned, it's not to wear white.
Right.
With my cousin's wedding, I think hers are neutral colors. I don't know, because from what I heard, what the bridesmaid dresses are, they're beige and natural colors and everything.
Okay.
But the only person that I know for a fact is wearing white besides her, I'm pretty sure is her daughter, because she's the flower girl.
Right.
Which she's gonna be so stinking cute.
She will be.
But it's no, who wears white to a wedding on purpose?
Right.
And some people
without nefarious intentions.
I hate those people who wear these white dresses with flower, and it's well, it has other colors on it too. It's no, you're not supposed to wear white at all.
Yeah, no white. Oh my God. they yeah.
But the second part,
yeah, with the photographer doing that. Oh my God, I would not pay that bill, and if you already paid it, I'd be we want our money back.
Right, literally contacting the company. That's crazy.
That's insane, man.
I think the best friend should get a restraining order.
Could you imagine? Yeah, being that girl.
Getting a call from your friend and be hey, our wedding photographer only took photos of you, and her being what?
Right.
Dude, that's crazy stalker level. Oh my God.
Way, yeah. All right. What's the next one? Oh.
Can I say that word?
What?
Oh wait, actually I've already said it on the podcast. Okay. It says, my best friend fell in love, but her parents were pissed. So they locked her in the house for months. I helped her escape to get married in a very small ceremony. She used to be close to her brother, so she invited him. On the wedding day, he wore all black, including black sunglasses. Who wore sunglasses to a wedding? Anyways.
I'll wear my sunglasses.
Okay. We specifically asked the pastor to not do the "does anyone object" thing. I hate that.
Because
Yeah. When her brother realized the pastor wasn't going to say it, he tried to stop the wedding anyways. My brothers had to escort him out.
Okay, so first of all, her parents locked her in the house for months.
What is this, Rapunzel?
What is that? There's a legal term for that, right?
I'm pretty sure I feel like it really depends on what state they're in.
That's crazy.
This is giving Tangled stuff over here.
Right?
Locked in a tower. At least it wasn't for 18 years.
That's insane. And then, of course, I mean, they obviously knew that her brother was going to object.
Yeah, but my question is like, even if she used to be close to him, but like she knew he was going to object, why invite him to the wedding?
Why invite him? Yeah, maybe she was hoping for the best. Maybe she was hoping that since they used to be really close, that he would just be happy for her.
Yeah. That's crazy. To the brother, you're messed up. That's crazy.
Right. But at least her friends knew better.
Yeah.
All right. So let's see. Yeah.
Oh, gosh. This one, I feel like this one is kind of cute, but also like get your kid.
What were the parents doing? So this one says the bride's nephew was the ring bearer. Instead of sitting at the front after he made it down the aisle, he decided to do karate moves in front of and sometimes behind the couple during the entire ceremony. And he's in almost all of their photos. Yeah, I would think, like, where are the parents?
And that's why I even said that's why people have no kid weddings. And then
people
get mad about it, and it's like, well, half the time people don't control their kids at a wedding. They're like, oh, they're just a kid. They're just playing. No, that's someone's day. You're sitting there ruining it for them.
Correct. Yeah, and there are a lot of people having no kid weddings now.
Honestly, that doesn't sound like a bad idea for when I want to get married and no kid wedding.
Isn't one of your family members, don't they have a, like, not like a really no kid rule, but...
Yeah, so one of my cousins, the same one who's getting married and having her daughter in the wedding, at first she wanted to do like a no kid wedding at all because it's like her day, and she was worried about like mostly kids sitting down during the reception and everything. But then she was like, well, a lot of the people I'm inviting have kids and can't get babysitters.
Right.
So she was like, it's fine. But after a certain point for like that, like for the after party and everything, at a certain time, like all the kids under a certain age have to like leave and everything for like the older teenagers and the adults and everything.
For them to enjoy themselves. The extra obligations. Yes.
Yes. Which I was like, honestly, that's a good idea, especially because if she wants to sit there and enjoy her wedding.
Right, of course.
I mean, and her daughter's not even going to be like, well, because they're at her wedding's at, I think it's her grandparents or her fiance's grandparents. I don't remember. So her daughter, obviously, she's like only a couple months old. So she's just going to be sleeping during her bedtime during that.
Yeah, of course.
Nice sleeping peacefully. She's going to be like, bye, Mom, I'm going to sleep.
Right.
I don't know about you, but I'm going to bed.
She'll be so tired, yeah. All right, so you got this next one. I can't even.
Oh, you scrolled already?
Uh-huh.
Oh, I didn't see you scroll.
I'm good
okay. It says, my best friend's dad loudly answered his phone during my wife's father's speech and proceeded to have a very loud conversation. The wedding was in a small room, so it was very noticeable. He also, what is that?
Heckled me during the speech. So basically, like, when someone's, like, purposefully doing things to, like, bother you while you're doing something. Yeah. So can you imagine, like, giving a speech and someone messing with you the whole time? Like, that's so disrespectful. First of all, like, answering your phone, no, put that on silent. Like,
that's why like, my cousin's wedding's going to be a no phone.
Yeah, I mean, I feel
like it's common knowledge, especially because it's funny because there was like these influencers who got married. There was this girl who vlogged her entire wedding and posted it before they got to post.
Wow.
It's like let them. It's like kind of like when you have a baby.
Yeah.
Let them post and like even enjoy it for a couple days until they post. And honestly, always ask permission before posting.
Yeah, so I'm pretty private. I used to be a lot more private until recently, until we did the podcast. And it took some convincing from Jay to get me to
I was like, we need to do a podcast.
Because I like my privacy. My kids like their privacy.
Yeah.
And
that's why we always ask them if they want to be in the videos.
Yeah,
we don't sit there and be like, oh, you're being in the videos.
And that's why in some of the videos, like, you know, obviously they don't want to be out in the public persona, so that they put on their hats and masks to cover.
And a lot of times they don't want to be in the videos.
And
so we don't force them.
They're like, we'll talk, but no, so I know for our wedding, for my wedding, even my Facebook stuff is set to private. Only my friends can see it. And even when I post things, I have certain friends on a friends list that really only see a lot of the stuff I post.
Yeah.
And like I did not want any of our wedding stuff really shared because like that was our day. That was like my day. It's like my private special moments with like my close friends and family, and I didn't want the whole world to be a part of my special day. And I know like, you know, like some people knew that, but I guess other people didn't get the memo. So at one point, one of my mom's friends that we've known for forever, that they were able to make it, was posting some of the photos on their Facebook account. And, my mom saw it, and my mom was like, oh, like she does not want anything posted, that's why she's not posting anything. And they were like, oh, like, and so they were like, do you want me to take it down? I'm like, I would really appreciate it. So they did take it down.
Well, at least they were one of those respectful people.
Yeah, they were respectful of boundaries.
Instead of being like, well, everyone posts their wedding, so why don't? No. Yeah, at least she was respectful. Like, okay, I'll take it down since you want me to take it down.
Yeah, you guys, you want quality people like that in your life. But I can't even like the disrespect though of like the friend's dad, like A, having his phone go off, B, answering it instead of being like, I'm sorry, and putting it on silent.
These make me like check off boxes on what I want whenever I end up getting married. It's like a no phone wedding, no kids, no thank you.
All right, so this one says, during the best man speech, the best man proposed to the maid of honor. They stole the whole night from the bride and groom.
I have something to say about this. Unless you confirm it with the bride and groom that it is okay to propose to somebody, do not sit there. I've seen this video on TikTok where the bride had no idea this guy was proposing to his girlfriend. Wow. And she was like, and you can tell like she like didn't want to sit there and cause a scene, so she was like, yeah, it's fine.
Right. Now, I've heard of this happening though at other weddings. I've heard some people don't mind it and they love sharing that spotlight with their friends because they're so close, they're like family. But then I've heard of it happening and people are like, oh my God, you literally just stole my special day. And especially if people are spending thousands upon thousands of dollars for this special day to be like kind of the like celebrities of the night, or like, you know, it's all about them. And then to just steal their thunder. I can't even imagine the kind of person it would take to do something like that without at least bringing it up and being like, is it okay?
Yeah. See, my input on that, this is for anybody, just in case. See, I wouldn't want someone to do that at my wedding, especially if I am spending like thousands of dollars on it.
Some people spend literally like, people have $1 million weddings. People have $100,000 weddings. Yeah. Like it's
especially
insane.
if it's someone you're not close to. It's like more of like like your family friend, but you're not as close to them.
Yeah.
I understand more if it's like you're my best friend and I know this guy and everything. That's a bit more different. If you're
and
like
you're
really
like,
close.
yes, I want to be a part of that, and yes, this would be great because everyone we know together will be there to you know.
But it's like and another thing is if I know she would want to be proposed to like at a wedding, and it's
because sometimes people are like, oh, please no, like do it
especially if it's like one of those people where like they don't want to be proposed to at another person's wedding.
I don't think I would ever want to be put on the spot like that.
No.
I know my ex-husband, he proposed to me literally like in our apartment in the living room while I was like all comfy on the couch. I mean, I was comfy in
Aw.
my pajamas watching one of my shows.
At least he did it. And like, what did he just like make you stand up? And
No, he like had just gotten back from his drill that weekend because he was in the Marine Corps.
Yeah.
So he had just gotten back from his drill that weekend, so he was still kind of in his military garb and everything. And from what I had heard, he was just like so excited and he just couldn't wait anymore. And so he he had gotten the ring, I guess on his way back to the apartment because it was in, so I guess he was just so excited since he had, gotten the ring when it came in that he just did it when he came in. Because I literally was like, I heard him at the door and I was like looking at the door. I'm like, oh, hey. And he's like, hey. And it's like, and then it was like, and then he did it. And I was like, wait, what? Because I was like half laying down on the couch. So it was like, wait, what? Like I sat up. I was like, wait, what's happening?
Oh, that's so cute. At least he did it when it was just like you two and not like.
Yeah,
because you definitely are more of a private person.
Yeah,
where you like it just like you and one other person. It seems like.
Yeah,
so at least he did it like 1-on-1.
Yeah,
but that's so cute. He was too excited that he literally couldn't wait.
It was. I know. Well, I mean, and this is the other thing. Like you have to think about. Like it's weird because like we've had such a toxic divorce and everything. But like we've known each other and we've been friends since like middle school.
I know you were telling me like your junior prom and everything.
Yeah,
that
I mean,
story.
we went to like proms together, other dances together. I mean, like we were
it's
just
like,
always
that's
really
so
good friends.
What happened?
Even when we dated other people, like we were just always really good friends.
Yeah.
And so it's, people change and things happen.
He used to be such like a sweet person. And then,
yeah, I know. People, even our close friends and some of our family are just like, what happened to him? Like, why is he being this way? Like, what is going on? Like, so
you're not talking into your mic.
No, it's because I'm so loud.
Oh. I was like, you're not talking into your mic.
The last couple recordings, I've literally turned my mic volume down in the recording.
Oh, okay.
That way, it's not as loud.
Apparently, I talk really low,
my
guys.
voice carries, guys. So I think you got this one.
Oh, I didn't even realize you scrolled again. Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay. It says, my mother cut my wedding cake and gave large slices to my aunts. Well, before it was time for the cake moment. Her excuse was they wanted something sweet after dinner.
No.
2 things.
Oh my gosh.
I think, in my opinion, the only person who should be cutting the cake is like the bride or groom, or if they like hired someone to personally cut it.
Right.
But
like,
a lot of
was that their cake that they were supposed to cut? So
it says my wedding cake.
Because I know, like, well, what we did is we had a cake just for him and I to cut and take the pictures and stuff with. And then we had other cakes that were being served to people.
Yeah.
So.
But I feel like, it seems like that was her actual wedding. Because it says my wedding cake.
Oh,
first of all.
Man.
Her aunts could have waited.
Yeah, no, you're waiting. Unless you say, hey, like, maybe they're diabetic and they need something sweet, like, or
but a lot of the times weddings have
get a waiter or waitress and say, hey, do you have something sweet in the kitchen that they can have, or,
but I feel like a lot of the times weddings, or at least the weddings I've been, like, the one wedding I've been to, they had other, like, besides the cake, like, other, like, sugary things there too.
Yeah, true. I mean, so
and
I don't know. I'm just trying to figure out.
Go to the bride and groom and ask, like, especially if they are like diabetic.
Maybe they want, or like if they wanted to leave early, like say, hey, can like we cut from the back of the cake so they can have a little bit to take home or something, or to have before they have to go, or because
so many things aren't it, but doing it like not like. Or, like, not even telling the bride or groom and just doing it. And especially if you're the mom, that's crazy.
I know. I will say one of my friends' weddings, I was actually pregnant with my eldest son at the time.
That's so cute.
The wedding was up in Indiana. My husband at the time, now ex-husband, could not make it. So my mom went with me. And I wasn't that far along, but I had really bad morning sickness, like my entire pregnancy. But I mean, it was like first trimester anyway, so I just had really bad morning sickness. like all the time. And I was like surviving their ceremony and reception. I was like survival mode, like, because it was one of my really, really good friends from high school, like all the way through college and everything. And we still talk, like,
at least it wasn't like you were sick and going. It's like you were just genuinely pregnant.
And they knew I was pregnant, because he was one of my other best friends from high school and stuff, just like my ex-husband is. So,
it's like two of your best friends literally got married.
Yeah. Well, I was a friend of the groom, so, but no, so like, and I was like just survival mode, and I really didn't. I was like, I don't want to like leave before they cut the cake and everything, because I know that's one of the big moments, and like I don't want to, you know,
like miss out on it,
but also like I don't want them to feel bad for me missing anything special. So I know like they did the speech, the cake was being cut and taken to the different tables, but we were like one of the last tables planned to be served. And I was like, I don't think I can do this anymore. Like I feel so sick.
But I mean, I feel like they would have rather you like leave and like feel better than like sit there and like be sick the entire time.
They did, like, one of our other friends at the same table as me went and let them know, and so they were like, okay. And like I if I remember right, I do believe like I got a little slice to take with me, and I was like, I'm so sorry guys, like I have to go, I do not feel good. But I know the wedding,
you were just, you know, growing an entire human.
It's a big moment. The wedding cake moment is such a big moment for some couples, and that just really sucks that mother did that. But okay, I know there are more in here, but we are reaching our mark. So
I feel like we should do another one of these.
Part two.
Part two.
We'll have to do a part 2. So guys, we are gonna go ahead and get off here, but share with us, what is something crazy or embarrassing that your parent has said to you? Let us know. And again, feel free to check out our website at adocpodcast.com.
Well as our social media. We're on Instagram, we're on TikTok, ADOC Podcast.
All right, guys, we will go ahead and see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.